We've all become so familiar in recent years with the concept of wokeism, this new ideology of woke. And one of its principles is as follows. Whenever there is a mismatch between a weaker and a stronger party, the weaker party is always right. Morality means we should support the underdog, the one where life has dealt a difficult hand to, where the odds are stacked against them. It is those who need our mercy and compassion, and somehow it seems that the weak and the vulnerable and poverty-stricken are always right. The truth is that there is a specific command in this week's parasha which goes directly against that. The largest conglomeration of commandments and prohibitions about the courts and the judges is in this week's parasha. And one says, Mishpatim, exactly the opposite. I'll read it to you. It's in the beginning of chapter 23. It says, Vidal lo tehedar berivo. And a poor, poverty-stricken person, lo tehedar, you do not show favor to. And how is that? Is the Torah not full of, says Rabbi Shimshon says in this verse, the Torah is full of compassion. In fact, there are so many commandments in this week's parasha to the stranger, to the poverty-stricken, or not dvarim, to be careful specifically how we speak to those people who are defenseless in society, the vulnerable, the weak, the orphan, the widow. The Torah, the stranger, is full of defending those who are defenseless. But, and here is the key word, says Rabbi Hirsch, it says, V'dal lo tehedar berivo, in his fight, in his dispute. Yes, there needs to be incredible sensitivity to the person who's vulnerable, but not when they act in a way in their disputes that they contravene morality. If a person comes to court, just because they are the vulnerable party doesn't justify murder. A weaker person who murders is a murderer. A weaker person who, God forbid, rapes is a rapist. A weaker person who's vulnerable but perhaps commits acts of vandalism is a vandal. And says Rabbi Hirsch, the key word is berivo. In general, incredible sensitivity, more than any other person. But if in a dispute, either in the courtroom or in the world of disputes, of arguments and confrontations, might is not right, but neither is weakness. What is right? Right is right. We look at every context and every action in terms of its inherent morality. Nothing justifies people doing horrific things, no matter what their background, and no matter how much they are victims or see themselves perpetuating victimhood. Ultimately, in the courtroom and in the world of disputes and confrontations, we always look at the actions and not at the balance of power. And I want to end and say, boy, have we seen the distortion of truth, where people, because of a certain sense of victimhood and sometimes a self-sustained sense of victimhood, have been able to have their actions, if not condoned, then at least understood. But berivo, when there is confrontation, there is only one barometer of truth. Is the act moral or not? And even though Israel is so much stronger and mightier than her enemy, Israel has acted with the most incredible self-restraint, incredible moral focus, arguably unparalleled in the annals of warfare. And what a privilege it is to be part of our moral code of the Torah and Jewish values, which is right, and ultimately light will triumph over darkness, right over wrong, and truth over falsehood. Shabbat Shalom.